How to raise your vibration in 3 steps. In our last video, we talked about observing your emotions in order to determine your point of attraction. In that way, you know exactly what you're giving off, what you're vibrating before you can actually make the changes. And we talked about 3 different examples and ways you can do this observation. In this video, we're going to focus on the action step. So the first action steps that I recommend is called Tend Your House, Tend Your Garden, and Tend Your Fortress Challenge. So what I mean by your house is your mind, your fortress is your body, and your garden is your environment. Your environment gives us a particular frequency which affects your fortress, your body, and affects your mental health, your mind. So in your garden, you have some trees, but you also have some weeds, you have some flowers, but over here you have a sewer line underneath your garden, and the sewer line is broken and spilling a bunch of trash and crap into your garden. So the sewer represents the negativity from the environment, and your garden and the flowers and the trees and the butterflies represent some positivity. Let's say the weeds in here represents the negative people in your life that are influencing you, your belief, your ideas. In order to protect the integrity of your fortress and your mind, you need to maybe remove the weeds in your garden, maybe fix this broken sewer line or cut off access to things in your life that are feeding toxicity, negativity into your life. Mend it, fix it, get away from it, whatever you need to do. You may need to nurture your plants. So these are the positive influences, people, things in your life, maybe your hobbies, your actions, things like that have positive influence in your life. You may want to nurture those. So the challenge is every night you write in your journal or in some kind of notebook or something like this. How have you tended to your garden today? So dear journal, today I tended to my garden by limiting my conversations with my toxic friends. I set healthy boundaries with my girlfriend and brother. I stopped myself from unnecessary gossip and unhelpful chatters. I did not leave and respond to negative comments in social media. Today, I tended to my fortress body by doing a dance challenge, taking breaks in between work, running, workout, yoga, meditation, reducing the number of unhealthy food I ate today, taking deep breaths, did a guided body-focused meditation or exercise. Today, I mended my house, my mind, by going to therapy, for example, or reframing my negative thoughts and looking for alternative statements that are kinder, logical, and more uplifting. I identified distorted thinking patterns and stumped out the ants, the automatic negative thinking. I created a list of affirmations related to each negative thinking that feels genuinely good, that I can believe in. Option number 2, an action step you can do is get a lawyer, a mental health clinician, to help evict the tenant, depression, anxiety, unhelpful thinking patterns that lives rent-free in your house, your mind. So I like to think of the mind like a house, having different compartments, different rooms. And usually in a healthy mind, you're going around constantly clearing out the rooms and making sure it's clean, it's tidy, and everything is good. But when you are depressed, anxious, or in a negative state of being, you kind of become neglectful of these rooms in your house. And what happens is a tenant or a squatter comes in without your knowing and starts to reside in these empty spaces in your home that you were negligent of taking care of. And so your house looks something like this. Your state of mind looks something like this. So what do you do if you have a tenant or a squatter that refuses to leave your house? You get a lawyer to help get rid of that squatter. Okay. So this lawyer, we're going to call them this clinician, is called a therapist, and there's different types. So therapists that help you with your mind and clearing the clutter and changing and reframing your thoughts are called CBT therapists. They use this method. EMDR and mindfulness-based stress reduction types of therapy are concerned with trauma specifically, and especially deep trauma. CBT can also help with trauma. But these kind of approaches target both the mind and the body. CBT central focus is to target your mind, helping you reprogram your subconscious and conscious thinking patterns. Other therapists or mental health lawyers use polyvagal exercises. These are body-oriented exercises. They are nervous system reset exercises. Another kind of therapist other therapists use somatic therapies. These are body-oriented therapies such as dance therapy, Reiki, Tai Chi, meditation, acupressure, and so much more. Trauma resides not just in the mind, but also in the body. Your body keeps the score, meaning whatever goes on here gets affected here. Your body feels it. If your body is not in a great condition, it also affects the mind. You have a mind-body connection, and they're not divorced from one another. So for some people, a CBT approach is all they need to help them reset their internal programming, their mind, and in doing so, they're able to reset their central nervous system. But this is not always the case for everyone, particularly for people with trauma or PTSD. They need a very focused kind of therapy that also works on the central nervous system via body activities as well as mind activities. If you can't afford therapy, that's okay. Get yourself educated and feed your mind with helpful mental health information. If you're on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, search for mental health hashtags or follow those hashtags. There are a lot of mental health clinicians who give amazing tips, and also non-mental health clinicians on how you can, raise your vibration, change your thinking patterns, and heal yourself. Go to YouTube or read books, read articles. A really good book on trauma is called The Body Keeps the Score, and Heal the Body, Heal the Mind. You can go to websites such as mywellbeing.com to learn more about mental health and different strategies to help you improve your mental health game. And the last step, but not least, is maintenance. This is where once you have decided an action plan, right, on how to observe and, implement, you want to maintain this, because mental health, your vibration needs to be maintained. You can lose it. Even if you get to a higher vibration, you need to maintain it. And then the best way to do it is to create some kind of tracker where you list all of the activities here. And then each day of the week, you put a tally on what activities you've completed for that day. Mine looks somewhat like this. And once you feel like you've increased your vibration, you feel like you're in a better place, you always want to go back to step one, which is the observation. And you want to continuously keep track of all your emotions in this guidance scale. Do this for 1, 2, 3 months at a time until you notice a consistent stabilization of your emotions in this top half.